Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. If you've never been here before, welcome for the first time. I really do appreciate all the continued support. Today we're going to be looking at a European Games game from 2019 between Austria and Germany. I'm really excited for this one. I've heard a lot of interesting things about the style that Germany plays, and I'm excited to see it from my own eyes and really break it down. Just a reminder, if you want to support the channel, support what we're doing here, please like this video and subscribe. I pulled up the stats the other day and it says that half of the people watching my videos have not subscribed, so all it takes is clicking one little button. I promise I won't spam you or anything, but I would appreciate the support. So without further ado, let's get into it. So as I said, today we're going to look at the match from European Games 2019 between Austria and Germany. Before we get started, I just want to take a minute to mention our sponsors for the video, Utility Apparel. Utility started 4 years ago, specializes in Quidditch apparel, and currently provides jerseys to teams in 21 countries, including these awesome Austria jerseys you're going to see on screen today. If you head on over to their website, with the link below in the description, you can check out the two collections they're currently highlighting, the Referee Collection and their Pride Collection. I think the Pride Collection is particularly cool. The Pride Snitch Kit looks really, really great. It's got a rainbow snitch tail. And if you're interested in purchasing anything from their store, they give me this great little promo code, the Midline20, to get you 20% off of your purchases. So check it out. All right, let's get into the video. All right, so Austria's on the right, Germany's on the left. It looks like we had a card come up already. Maybe that wasn't supposed to show up, because I don't think anything got called in the game yet. I think I had that mixed up, by the way. I believe Germany is on the right. Yeah, they just switched on the scoreboard as well. So a zone defense here from Austria. Good ball movement, like the way it was attacked. Let's see. Whole team closed down. I think you just have to try to throw the high hoop there. But really just good crashing defense by Austria. Good second effort to keep possession, and they're going to attack it the same way. And good beat to get possession back. Like Austria looking to run right off of that. Oh, great look for a pass too. Teams are moving the ball around really, really nicely. They just haven't been able to make any of it count so far. I think we might be getting a card. And I think Austria kept the ball. Yeah, illegal contact, diving, so they got a diving penalty. And Germany's going to get possession off of the restart. Okay, maybe the game will settle down. We can start breaking some stuff down. Skip through this. Here we go. So Germany should be up a player, which means they should be able to... Oh, no, they'll be down a player, right? So they should be trying to kill this penalty. All right, so we see that in front, behind, two beaters. I like the setup. But even so, I don't like rushing this, so I'd love to see them keep taking their time. Good job pushing deep into the zone there. Great ball movement. Yeah, this is good. Just kill off this penalty. I don't hate the screen. Obviously, then they need to shoot right off of this if she's the one stepping up. They're just going to let it all play out. It's really hard to screen a team that's playing zone, though. I think they have switched to man here against the power play. Yeah, they have. So, yeah, the screen's fine. All right, so this beater's playing so far back, and Germany's not doing enough to expose this, right? So this tap beat happens, and then this player just needs to go into the lane. They do, but at some point you just have to get close enough to shoot. Like, this hoop's wide open if you just float it in. I mean, I think this is the keeper zone line right here. So you're like 6 yards out. Like, you have to float this in, or you're going to let her stand right there all game, right? Because you're not threatening anything that's going to take her further from her hoops, which means that your two beaters aren't going to be able to do anything. Like, he decided he had to drive there. And even if it works out, which it eventually does, yeah. Like, he lucked out that her beat missed, but I didn't like the execution. Anytime beaters are really, really, really far back, you have to scare them out of that spot by hitting some mid-range shots. All right, so high press from Germany. We haven't seen much of this in European games so far. And they kind of, good job. So let's talk about what Austria does here. So they see the high press coming, and the ball carrier does the perfect thing, right? He runs to another side, kind of isolates the beaters. Because if he stays in the middle, both beaters can kind of focus on him and see any bludgers coming. He keeps moving back and forth until eventually this beater ends up far out of position, and his two beaters can isolate the remaining beater, and they get bludger control off of it, I would think. Great aggressive beat to get the quaffle, though. All right, so what could have Austria done differently? I think... So I don't see any reason, unless I don't know how the ref might call the game or anything right now, but I don't see any reason that this player needs to cross midline here, and I think he kind of screws himself over by doing so. And even if he crossed midline, I'm fine with him just taking his reset by running this little route, but he kind of... I've said this before, but my least favorite thing for people to do when a beater's pressing them is to just start looking for the block and reduce both their range of movement and their ability to move backwards. Which is how he gets beat. One thing I do like is that when a lot of teams high press, they just high press with their beaters, and their quaffle players stay all the way back in their zone, and because of that, it's really easy for the other team to reset with a pass, right? But see how this chaser's all the way back here covering one of the Austrian chasers? They're making it harder for him to have free reset passes, which is why he just needed to run back himself. And this is just a great play by the German beater. Gets it there, beats out the other player, causes no bludger. And they're going to call a turnover? I don't know. I liked everything I saw. Maybe the German keeper came off broom or something. That's so unfortunate. That's like a game-changing play there, right? It literally was about to be 10 points for Germany, and because all their beaters had overcommitted, as they probably were accurately supposed to, they got so exposed by that turnover and gave up a goal. And now I'm not even sure they have bludger control. They do not. So that's a rough call for them. Not that I'm saying it wasn't earned. For all I know, he was off broom or whatever the call was. All right, let's see how they attack without bludger control. See, I don't like this from Austria. Like, they're basically hiding this bludger. This is not an active bludger. There's no German players back there. Why aren't these two beaters both on these two hoops? That's the reasonable positioning there. Unless you're really defending against something happening behind the hoops, there's no reason a beater should be playing that far back. And then Germany kind of throws their way right into it. And they don't even pay for that. So it kind of speaks to how questionable it was. So here's the things about this play. Again, Germany doesn't want to just exploit the Austrian defense. And, like, look at this hoop. This hoop is wide open. He's 6 yards away. Like, Austria's going to get to keep doing this because Germany refuses to just attack with a shot. And then just to kind of play to the point, she needs to step up there because he starts driving. So she stepped up anyway, which is why she can't answer this pass. But she's way further from him because she started 3 yards behind the hoops. It's a nice block. And this is a great weak side look. Just a nice beat by the Austrian beater. Oh, they're going to get a goal off of it anyway? Let's look through this whole play. Makes that beat. Oh, so he just dropped it, which is smart. Germany's really winning the race to all these 50-50 balls. And that's been the difference maker because that's going to be a good goal, yeah. It's like a rugby scrum the way he handed that ball off. Yeah, so the first player just shouldn't have run into all that contact, right? We've talked about this on fast breaks before. Fast break, you need to be looking for your one pass. He's never even in a position to pass. You saw he had that ball tucked the entire way. So the second someone wraps him, he can never throw that ball. Like, if his hand is, even if his hand is out and he takes his contact and he just pitches it off to 10, this is probably a goal here. But he's in a rugby position, so all he can do is kind of just drop it. And kind of similar situation for 96. Fast breaks, you should always be looking for that one pass to the open person because there will always be an open person as long as your team's running with you. In that case, his team was definitely running with him. Decent ball movement. Where's the second German beater? Hit break here. Oh, I love this. Attacking to where the second beater is. But she just needs to beat 96 here. Why doesn't she beat 96 if this player's so scared, as we've seen, of stepping out on beat? Just go beat 96 as this pass is going across, and this player's going to get to drive in completely unmarked, and it's going to be an easy goal. Like, this pass does nothing. This pass is just moving the ball for the sake of moving the ball. And again, he caught it and then ran this way. Just run into these danger areas. Germany just seems so scared to run into danger areas. I mean, it's beautiful ball movement. Don't get me wrong. I just think they're making it harder on themselves. Really small thing here. 9 catches the ball by moving towards it, which reduces how long it's there. This is a beautiful pass across. This is a nice cut. A nice finish. Just a well-executed play by Germany. I have not seen many European teams moving the ball around like this. Stoppage. And a timeout. All right, we'll pick up play. Again, a high press from the German beaters and high defense from the German chasers. Okay, so what could Austria be doing differently? I mean, I think they did it really well the first play. We'll see if they execute it a little bit better. Here again, they isolate a beater. The other beater's not going to be able to protect him. So I like what they're doing now. I think they took too long to do it. No, I mean, they've opened up a huge space for her to attack, which is great. Yeah, I mean, good hands by the keeper there. What could she have done differently? Let's see. Good movement. I'm not sure what 47's a beater. Yeah, it's just nobody's making cuts that are actually getting them open for a pass. So all she has left to do is shoot, and she's being guarded by the keeper. So I think she does the only thing she can do. Yeah. I like the effort of the backhanded shovel there. Germany keeps bludger control. Nice little diamond set here. No issue there. They finally, I guess, that looked like it was finally the shot. But this one actually did have a hand up for it. And just easily cleaned up by the beaters. Oh, they're not, because the beater is being so dominant back there. They're going to get a goal anyway, or at least a really good drive attempt. So why is the beater's getting so... Okay, so let's see how Austria could have attacked this differently. So he's going to make this play. She's just got to do a better job here of keeping him corralled, right? I mean, he should not get this freedom to just throw that beat and be the only beater who can even possibly get to that bludger. Kind of looked like a two-hand tackle, but neither here nor there. Iffy break against one bludger. I don't even know how it was against one bludger, because they do still have bludger control. Alright, ball of the wing. I've noticed for 2 straight plays here, she's been way too deep on the wing. I'd like to see her a little bit closer to the keeper zone, especially with this much space, right? By the time she catches it and gathers herself and gets in, the defense has time to adjust, so it's a little slower attack. And same thing here, right? If she's here, he can dish and hit her in stride, and she can start driving. Instead, she's a step behind him, so he probably doesn't even see her. Yep. So it works out because she does eventually get to that spot, but in order for her to get to that spot and score that goal, instead of just being able to, we'll watch it again. Like, instead of being able to basically draw this point defender's eyes and hit her right now, he has to basically spin through this point defender for this play to work. Nice control of her body there, though, to get that. It was a stiff arm with a throw on it. It was a nice little shot. Germany's just blowing up the beaters again. They should be able to press off of this. Yeah, so that was iffy communication by... Yes, okay, so the German beaters kind of screw this one up for the first time, right? So he's going to make this beat top right there. And his teammate, I'm not really sure where she's going, but she should be pressing because he's about to pick up a ball and try to press, and if she was already pressing, this would have been a lot harder for Austria. Like, she goes back to cover this one cutter who has, like, 3 German bodies around him and is never going to catch a pass there. Instead of pressing. So then when this player goes to press by himself, he actually gets out of position by a nice play by this Austrian beater. He tries too hard, her teammate makes the beat, and he loses bludger control. Just compose yourself here. No reason to rush it back across the line. That's a great pass. Yeah, deserved goal even off the original missed shot. This was a heck of a pass. Perfect touch on it where it kind of floated for a second, which made it didn't have to be as accurate as it otherwise would have been, even though it was very accurate still. The second German line just seemed a little slower to react than the first one, which was kind of everywhere on the pitch defensively and getting to all the 50-50 balls. Like, I'm not even sure why that player behind was that open for that pass. Same thing that we were saying before, kind of opposite now. So now the German beater is not staying on the Austrian beater enough. Like, you should be close enough that she never feels comfortable making this throw because you're going to beat her to the ball off the deflection. And right now, you're never going to beat her to the ball there because you were playing a little bit slow. Again, that guy just never wants to shoot from that spot. I guess the one time he shot, he got deflected, but I feel like it's been fairly open. Really nice use of the full offensive zone. I think Austria just isolated a beater, so they're probably getting bludger control. It's probably no bludger because she also doesn't have a bludger. And that felt like a little too cheeky from 9. So, like, he loves to just loft this pass when he gets in the lane. Like, we've seen it over and over again. But, I mean, you need to put that basically on this hoop for a catch and release. And he kind of puts it in the wrong spots because it's not easy to throw kind of this cross-armed motion, right? Like, that's kind of the Jake Archibald pass he likes to throw. But it's not the easiest execution. And he shows it there by throwing it behind his teammate who corrals it. But now he's stuck in a much tougher situation. He kind of makes it harder on himself by shooting towards the toughest hoop from his angle. But at the same time, like the 2 closer hoops are probably, he should have just popped it through this middle hoop for sure. Throwing at that hoop is very difficult. Austria should be in no rush here. They don't have bludger control. You get a stoppage, just an injury stoppage, it looks like. But yeah, definitely a shaky couple minutes here from the German team. Let's see if Austria can keep capitalizing. Germany did get bludger control. It does have bludger control. They take the exchange stop. See, this is the press that we need on the last play from Germany. And Austria is able to actually use space. I don't like that. So it really gets close to working, but like you pick this ball up, just start running out this way, right? All this space is here. If you're running this way, you're never running towards this player, so there's a good chance he never gets a clean wrap on you. And then you still have your reset on this play. You haven't used it to kind of float this ball wall covered into the middle to a defended player. I mean, this is really good defense by the German player. We're going to see something I don't think we see enough, probably because it's not technically legal, is just get a grab on this player. Just take one of their hands away, and they can't make this catch. She basically takes away her right arm with that hand right here. You can see it. And again, this is technically a foul in Quidditch, but it's a never called foul, so people don't use it enough. And she's able to basically force the ball away with that. So better press from Germany there, but also bad execution in using or not using their reset or using their spacing from Austria. So let's see. So at this point, I'm worried that Germany has a tendency. And if this player lofts this ball to this player, I'm going to say that this team is a little bit too predictable in their strategy. Okay, mixed it up. Good. Attack to this side. So this is perfect, right? This is great. The beater went back there. I love this dynamic. We'll see if she actually makes this tap beat this time. She just takes out the beater herself. And again, so I'd say my biggest issue with the German offense is kind of these in-between passes. This one's fine. Why is this player standing here? Why are they not cutting? Where is this cut? If you hit this player, if they started running 1 second ago and they're right around this ref and you hit them here, look how easy this dunk is. But if he stands around and waits for this pass, it's just you haven't done anything to forward the play yet. Yeah, and now the play's gotten them nowhere. Whereas if he had just made that cut, he was the last person they need to make a cut to score a goal there. Handoff play, screen play. Good defense. Fortunately, we went to this ground view, so it's really hard to get a good concept of what happened on that play. We can try to see. All right. So Austria's still in this 2-2. They do a handoff. So the up person on the right side of the 2-2 steps up. Misses that hit because of the screen. I think the left person, up person in the zone is the one who's going to get stuck between a rock and a hard place. Doesn't really step up to the ball carrier. Also doesn't hang back for this pass. This is just a really good tackle to kind of ruin his momentum. I never liked the two-arm dunk anyway for that reason. Without the momentum, you may not get it there. But Germany scores when all is said and done anyway. All right, we got play started again. So the goal is good. Germany's up 30 now, starting to pull away. Oh man, Germany looks like they forced another press. Now, if this is another press, I don't like anything about his body structure here. Just use your reset. Oh, that was a shot. There wasn't even a person back there. Oh man, that's just not good possessions from Austria. One thing I've noticed about a lot of these European teams is they just don't seem to know that they have their reset. They're like scared to use it. And not like strategically scared, like they try to stay in their offensive half too hard. They just see the press and think they have to go for it. Germany just lost budget control somehow? That's weird. There's the pass behind. See, yeah, this is fine. See, I don't like the communication from the Austrian beaters here, right? So let's look. So the pass goes over here. This player's covered. 0 should stay up here, and the back beater should press. As this player, and because this player's not even getting out of this. So watch as they both kind of go to the same spot. Now every other passing option's open, whereas if he had run over here and she had kind of covered up any other passes, I think this is more likely to be a turnover. Also, I feel like 99 had a chance on 0's blindside to get budget control back, and now that throw doesn't really do much. Germany should not be going fast here because they don't have a bludger. Okay, they settled it down. This is fine. Good mob movement around the zone. They get the no bludger, and they score. So how they get budget control and the no bludger? Let's see. So both beaters are behind. 0 gets blind. It's basically the same thing we saw. Could have happened about 5 seconds back. 0 just not being beater aware enough. And he makes a throw for bludger control. I guess I don't hate it if you think your chasers are going to make the tackles, which they've done okay so far. Wait, is she? Yeah. She's just cleaning it up in the back. That's what's happening. Yeah, I mean, that throw was just a little bit desperate. Wait, so this is also really weird from Austria, right? So let's see. So he throws, misses. This ball's going off pitch. He goes to get this ball, or someone goes to get this ball. But the bludger control ball is over here, and you're subbing off one of your beaters. Like, just let him go get the ball and then do that. I guess it's going to work out for them, but it was a weird play. Just probably needs to be a little bit more better bench communication. Same thing from that Austrian keeper we saw before, where he just drives with the ball tucked, and once it's tucked, he either needs to dunk the ball through the hoop, or he's going to get tackled and turn the ball over. Like, there's no in-betweens. He can't pass the ball, and it just ended a turnover on an easy tackle. In the lane, ball goes behind, always. Like, I do really like the dynamics of this German offense. I would love to see what it looks like against a man defense as opposed to his own defense. See, these are the situations where they get... Yeah, so that's the pass you need to throw, but you need to throw it harder into a different spot. Good awareness, though I think he's going to turn the ball over. Like, so right here... Like, if you just zip it to him right now, I think he scores probably. But he lobbed it to him and put it behind him. And then this player does a really nice job cleaning it up. This is a great beat. Good awareness by that chaser, though, to get the ball off. Like, I don't know how he knew that beat was coming. Whew. Yeah, this Austrian team in transition is just so bad at finding that pass. Like, this is everything you want to do, but then he just loops the ball to nowhere. I think it probably just needs a push pass. Like, it's just a goal if you can just hit that player. And I assume it goes out of bounds. It's going to be a German ball. Let me get a stoppage. Austria's definitely had the fast break opportunities that this game should be like 60-40, 60-50, instead 60-20. Because Germans' beaters have definitely been over-aggressive, and a couple times that have left them without a bludger back on defense. It's so weird that they screen... Oh, they're screening everyone here, right? So this is a double screen? Now, is it all setting up this one pass? Let's see. Oh, it is. That's a really interesting concept, right? So this is basically blocking off a side of the field. So she's setting a screen at hoops. He's going to come and set a screen on ball. And it's all an overload to open up this one player. I think the problem is that the ball... No, the ball's good. I mean, the problem is really just that one of the screeners pushed the defender through the hoop. That's what breaks down the play, ironically enough. Almost works out anyway. Again, not a play that you can necessarily run against a man defense, but interesting against the zone at least. All right. And we've got Austria ball. We've got charging player out of ball on a German player. It must have been a chaser. So I guess they called him for an illegal screen. Or maybe they called the... Oh, yeah. They called her for an illegal screen. The one that went through the hoop. Yeah, that's reasonable. That was a really meek throw from the Austrian beater there. And is he going to get away with a fist up? He didn't deserve it. All right, so better offensive possession from the chasers finally from Austria. So let's see what they do differently. So it's just a handoff on a tackle. Basically acts the same way as a screen. The German defender here needs to be closer. Gives him a little bit too much leeway. It's just a heck of a pass. A great finish. Really clean catch and release. So now the game's back in cinch range again. I mean, credit to Austria hanging around this game. Unfortunately, drive the other way puts it right back out of range. I feel like Austria has hit well on every possession up until that one. And that one they just kind of let themselves down a little bit. Where are the beaters here? Why is this pressure happening? I don't understand. So he goes for an off-ball tap beat. If you want to do this against this high German press, the ball needs to go right over there. Because otherwise, this player just walked right into this beater. And that's a reset. And you could argue they used 2 resets there. I don't think the ref's going to make the call, but yeah, that was weird. It's bad ball awareness. It's going to work out? No, it's not going to work out. Yeah, because she needed to be... If you're the unmarked ball carrier, right, you need to be watching for where the coverage is going to come from and then flipping it off. And she looks this down. She knows the coverage is coming from here. All she has to do is flip it off to 29. And she just tries to play for ball protection instead. And the fact that it got to 29, he almost scored, even though it didn't actually get past him, kind of accentuates how easy it would have been for him if she had actually passed it to him. Sturm with budget control again. They've got 3 up top for once. This is a different look from them. This is more of a flat look. So the issue with what they're doing here, because they ran this a couple plays ago, this is the handoff play into a screen play, is that it's cool that you're like isolating her and she does get by this tackle even though he's currently making it and like getting her into the lane. But now your 2 other offensive players are behind her and there was only 1 Austrian defender in this. So now past the point of these 2 plays, it's a 2-on-3 plus the beaters. Like you're not... When you do this against a man, you use like 1 screen, or even if you use both screens, at least there are people defending those other 2 players are up here. But these players aren't defended. You want to use them as passing options, not as this. Like I said, she does break off. I don't hate a shot. Like I said, I've kind of been saying they should be taking this shot all game. She just doesn't shoot it high enough. 5 does a nice job of recovering. Just having, again, this is great ball movement from Germany. And as I say that, Austria finally forces the turnover. So this is a huge possession from Austria, right? They need to be patient. They have to score. They're down 40 at the 16-minute mark. They might not get another possession with 4 snitch on pitch. Let's see if they prioritize getting budget control and making something happen. They have budget control, sorry. But they're running this offense and their beaters are behind the play. They're not using their beaters the way Germany's using their beaters. Okay, now a beater comes in, beats off a point defender. But now, the point of beating off the point defender is that it forces a switch, right? She has to come over and defend this. So now you throw it to the person that they were covering. That's the way you use this. And again, like they tap beat again, they switch, but the passing option's right next to him, so it doesn't do anything. And now the beaters got scared off. Okay, 1.5. Pretty clean 1.5, and they're driving off of it. But again, they won't just pass when they're driving. Like, this is a terrible shot. You're being mauled by 2 people falling forward. Just flip it to anybody. Everybody's open. The whole team is open. Also, there's another one of those like kind of at the hoop screens that I don't fully understand, because this one also kind of looks like a charge or maybe a contact from behind. But regardless. That's a huge possession. They ran everything well, and he just didn't make that last pass. Oh, God, now because they 1.5, they had nobody back. Oh, that's an awesome open field tackle. Good job getting the ball off, though. So, yeah, that's the game. Him not throwing that pass is the difference between it being 70-40 right now at the 17-minute mark and it being 80-30 right now at the 17-minute mark. It's that simple. That's the small margins games are decided on sometimes. I do think it is 80-30. I think they just haven't updated the score. Yeah, there it is. And now Germany's got all the chips to play because they're up 50. They're going to press again. Just throwing the ball away. Fast break the other way. And nice look. Beautiful catch and release goal. And that's game over, basically. In the course of like 1 minute, Austria completely lost their hold on this game. All while having budget control too. That's kind of the wild part of it, right? Or at least they probably didn't have it when it was pressed against them, so probably just got it back. Let's see if Austria at least plays right and keeps their beaters in the quaffle game here. They get an advantage call. Yeah, make the most of it and score. And yeah, it looks like they were doing the right thing. So that's going to do it. I got to say, I was not expecting that level of a passing offense from Germany. It was quite impressive. They clearly had ideas. You saw that one idea that was like that handoff plus pick play. There was the multiple screens on one side and feed to that side. There was the two people behind play. Really clearly scripted offenses. I think they were a mixed bag in terms of effectiveness. Like I said, I didn't really understand the handoff and screen play against the zone. But like I love the way they were attacking from behind. I like the way they were splitting their beaters. I guess if I had any issues, it would be that, like I said, sometimes when they would set up in those wide passing, they wouldn't cut at the right times. There was that one female chaser that didn't make the cut to the right wing. There was that one male chaser who kind of caught the ball flat instead of cutting towards the hoop. I think those both would have been, one was a goal anyway, but would have been an easier goal if they'd done it differently. On the Austrian side, I think they just need to practice their drive and dishes, right? Because both in fast breaks and in the half-court offense, they would get hit and they would either not have a free arm or they would try to shoot even though they didn't have control over their body. And like the one time they ran a nice drive and dish, it was the easiest, freest goal. The chaser was just waiting there to put it in, and then they just haven't done that enough. So I'd like to see them improve on that. And then the Germany high press, they definitely struggled with just because they didn't use their resets enough, but I thought their beaters were generally composed against it. So I don't know. But anyway, that's going to do it for us today. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. We'll be back with more content later in the week. Take care.